Welcome back, everyone. Today I bring you a FOB match once again. This time it's the new tournament. I have to look up how it's actually called because it's not the FOB Monthly anymore. I think it's now called the FOB Arena or something, or the 1v1 Arena. I don't know. Oh, it's the FOB tournament. Just the new monthly that is now called differently. The group stages. I already told you about my games against Cheech, where I was an absolute idiot in the first game, and then the second game the RNG was so abysmal that he even apologized for it. Like abysmal for me, and good for him. Then the second match, I played against No Wolfie, and in the first game he had a disconnect and then he conceded. So I have one loss and one win. And then the third game, as you can see, or the third match, is against Tiberius. Yeah, so when I saw the groups, I kind of already capitulated because I thought to myself, there's no fucking way I'm gonna defeat Cheech, Snow Wolfie, and Tiberius. I might be lucky and get out if they like play against each other in a way that one of or like two of them are somehow worse than me, and I get kind of more consistent results or something. But yeah, especially with me fumbling the first game against Cheech and then yeah, I mean, I obviously also misplayed the second game, but the thing is that the RNG just completely smacked me out of the game in a matter of seconds, or a few minutes more like. And it just, like this game, it unironically broke me. It was so dumb. But yeah, well then I got this win against Snow Wolfie, so with the match against Tiberius, I thought that I kind of don't really stand a chance because Tiberius is a much better player than me, and he has also been playing the game for a very long time, so he's also very experienced. But who knows? Maybe I can get something going. And you can see we are on Kreide, and I am playing second UK. So a very good division, a division that I am also very good with. Against his 27 yeah. The picks and bans were, I think, a bit weird because I'm pretty sure he didn't ban 5e in the first game. But I thought that he wants to like bait me into playing 5e because he has a pretty good counter-strike against 5e with 20th Panzerna. And second UK was also open, well, as you can clearly see. So I thought that, you know what, let's just try to pick second UK. And because in FOB you don't pick the divisions, you first pick the faction and then the division. I picked NATO first and then he picked Pact, which also, I was assuming was again an indication that he wanted to counter pick 5e with 20th. But if I would pick second UK, he couldn't pick 5e himself anymore. And like I think the pick and ban system in the new FOB tournament is completely retarded. Like I'm sorry, but player 1 gets to pick the map first, bans the divisions first, and picks the faction and the division first. That's just dumb. Like player 1 gets literally all the advantages in the pick and bans. But I think that picking the faction first before your division is actually pretty cool. It would just be very nice if player 1 wouldn't have literally all the advantages in the pick and ban system. But this faction thing, I think that's nice. And yeah, so I went with second UK. And I also thought that on Kreide that could be very useful. Because if you get Bravo from my side, that's a big advantage. And on the other hand, if I would get the Tiberius' side, I could try to get an early play for Golf. And then if you have Golf, you can push through the forests here, establish a firing line, and then kind of try to push from here down to Delta. Well, I mean, the firing line should more be here because you can see here your line of sights are actually not the best. But still, that's like what you can do from the other side. But I still very much prefer my side of the map because, yeah, you can just bum rush Bravo, and then you will fight for the forest, which I mean, obviously your enemy can fight you for, but while you're fighting here, you can have your command in the forest and at least contest or even fully capture the Bravo. And as long as you don't like lose the other sides of the map completely, this will put you at an advantage. And then your enemy either has to invest massive resources into Bravo or completely leave it open and play another side of the map. Where the problem is, if you take this forest patch, you can completely cut off the center here. And well, this area here as well. Like this whole area is just a no-go zone then for your enemy. Which is very limiting because then he's basically left with this road and the road up there. Or the road, two roads, technically. So, yeah, I think my side is a lot better. 27 Yado, pretty dangerous. I recently played it myself again. I think, will I upload a video on it? Not sure. We will see. But either way, I recently played it again as well. And it's a good division. It's just, you would really have to not die early game. That's pretty much the dangerous like time for the division. But then the longer the game goes, the stronger you get, and you get really, really strong. The BMP3s are absolute menaces. Even if you don't have like the longest of ranges, just having them as fire support with the autocannon and the 100 mil, which only has HE, but this as fire support, they are just insane. They shred. It's not even funny. And then plus the Bastion ATGM, obviously, with the massive range and the speed. It's so good. You know, then I also have the BMP2s with the grenade launchers, and well, yeah, it's just a very good division, I think. But second UK, the thing is that I have the early game, obviously. So, which is also, I don't know whether this was such a good counter pick, because I have the early game. But obviously, Tiberius is very good, so he won't just, you know, be driving around his BMPs and losing them willy-nilly early on. So I knew that I would have to get a very good advantage early on, because otherwise late game I will be very dead. I have 8 challengers with the command tanks together, so I have a lot of tanks, and like I still have 12 warriors as well. But I mean, considering that he can get like 15 or 20 BMP3s depending on how many he takes Vet 1, or even more if he takes Vet 0, I guess it's gonna be a lot of stuff to chew through. And obviously the Bastion outranges like all my ATGMs. But yeah, well, as you can see, I'm obviously deploying aggressively into Bravo with 2 SAS, 2 Foxes as some fire support to back them up, 1 Terrier Scout as well into this forest line here, and 2 Terrier Scouts going here and here, and 1 Terrier Scout going to this forest patch. So to kind of just know what's going on in the center. I won't push the center at all. You can see very defensive deployment with just the 2 Terrier Scouts and the 2 Rover Milans. But I still want to see what's happening there. And then for the Delta is basically the same. 1 Terrier Scout and 1 Rover Milan.
I am listening, Captain.
Then 1 SAS going to the far left together with 2 Foxes, and that's basically it. Because I was assuming that he wouldn't fight for Golf a lot. It just doesn't make particularly a lot of sense. Because as I said, the BMP3s are good fire support, but they still need distance to really use this advantage. So fighting for Golf here should be very awkward for him. 1 command and for Alpha and Delta, 2 recon helicopters, obviously. Milan 2 in the Hell-Arm helicopter, as I like to take it, and then an infantry command for the right, and also a supply. Just had a few points left for the supply. I also took the Phantom because I wanted to protect the Milan 2, and I mean, second UK can also do a helicopter opener, so I was assuming that he would have a fighter early on to prepare for an heli opener, but well, apparently he didn't, or he didn't use it, I don't know, because there's nothing going on for the moment. Get a 1 point advantage early on, so GG, I won. I have also replaced the Terrier Scouts with the normal recon squads again, because they have AT launchers. But honestly, I'm not sure whether this is good or not, because Terrier Scouts are so cheap, but they don't have AT. I don't know, I'm not sure. I think both can be viable, but well, either way. I do get in Bravo, obviously, way ahead of him. Yeah, I do see, with the recon helicopter, a heavy deployment going into the forest, though, which was a bit concerning, because, like, this is either a lot of fire support or a lot of infantry, well, or in this case, both. So, that's not going to be good, because SAS are strong, but I only have 2 of them here. The good thing is, though, I see that there's a bunch of stuff coming in here, like the vehicles there, and then 2 BMP2s and the BRM-1 here, which told me that, like, the left-hand side is literally open. I also, like, well, I just see that there's nothing there for the moment. But I also know that there can't be a lot coming up. So yeah, I quickly reroll the Rover to capture that as well. He does get his command into contest, and I see that he has superior RPOs, which is honestly a pretty good idea. Like, the RPOs, obviously very strong even against the SAS, because they will dislodge them from their positions and do a lot of suppression damage. Yeah, and that's why I'm instantly retreating them. Because, well, I know that the disadvantage of them is that they will at some point run out of their RPOs, and the point will be very quickly. Though this one still at least had 1 left. the hell arm here being fired at by the AA, and unfortunately is also being outranged by the AA. But the Milan 2 gets the Tunguska. He put it too close to the Milan 2, and this was weird because he saw that the Milan 2 had already killed one of his BMP2s. I guess he just slightly mismanages the engagement ranges, and so yeah, BMP2 and Tunguska already dead, which is very good. One SAS already dead as well, which is not very good. And I was calling in a challenger to like kind of strengthen my position in the open here, but now I'm losing the position in the forest, so the challenger will be a little bit useless. The armored rifles and the warriors will take some time to arrive, but the air mobile pioneers were called in for some quick support here, and also because I saw that he has superior RPOs, I just called in the Saxons close range because he just can't do anything with them. He was also very cocky, pushing in together with the command. And the Saxons just, well, obviously delete his command. Fox here spots the Eagler in the open, gets a good burst in. Second one also gets a burst in, but they don't kill it, unfortunately. And then the BTRs do like giga damage against the Fox here. I guess it's only one armor. Okay, that makes sense. Do kill one of the BTRs. I mean, the second should also be easy pickings. And no, it finishes off one of the Foxes. And then it rots the second one. Bruh. BTR 80 just wrecking my ass. I mean, the Eagler here could have been very painful if it would have hit, and it didn't die to 2 Foxes. That was pretty much bullshit, honestly. But it didn't, so the Air Mobile Pioneer was able to get in. The Challenger here will at least like provide some more power projection for the open, but as I said, I really need to get like the forest here under control. And the second SAS is taking a lot of damage during all of this. The left-hand side is looking pretty good though. I have pushed the Foxes even further forward. This here is also silent. This is also pretty silent, so I can be pretty sure that I can just keep on investing into this area. And as I said, as long as I keep him pinned here, like, I'm fine. I will win the infantry fight the longer it goes. He gets a T-ATBV in. That's not that good though. Smokes off on, against all the ATGMs. Another Air Mobile Pioneer coming in as well. Those, by the way, really good spots. Triple MG, 9 men, Carl Gustav. Like, this is very nice. And you can also get them in the Chinooks, which have 8 HP and 10 HP and 10% ECM, which is pretty nice. Igla also missing all the shots. Also getting some air mobiles now together with the Lynx rockets. I just wanted to have some more fire support. Honestly, I didn't know how good it would be for the forest, because sidelines in the forest are weird for unguided missiles, but could be still nice. The SAS, by the way, the second one did also die, so that's very not good. But the thing is, with the helicopters coming in, I see that like the only thing firing at them is the Igla. So I thought that I could just call in the Fanta at a tornado and bomb him. And in fact, there's not a lot there. I mean, actually there was a Tunguska behind the forest, which I didn't see. But fortunately it only barely kills the tornado. It survives and then also very luckily evades the missiles from the MiG-29. Though it has the worse IR missiles, it has the R-60Ms. But it was still, I mean, it was still objectively just lucky for me to evade those. And then he drives it close to the forest here again. Don't know why. So a second Tunguska is already dead. And that's very not good for him. Because second UK can get a very good air spam going. I don't have it built as an air spam deck. But even with only 4 bombers, like, those 4 bombers are very, very powerful. But yeah, now third Tunguska is coming in. Does kill the Lynx rocket. And I mean, that's kind of fine for me, honestly, because he had to invest the points for 3 Tunguskas. That's 405 points, and 2 of them are already dead. Like, that's nice. That's less points that are in the forest here, and less points that he could also invest into those areas to attack. You see that I reinforced this area here with the armored rifle and with the warriors, because I thought that here in the open, I can reinforce rather quickly, or like more like it will take him very long to push over the open where I will always see him. Well, here the distance is much closer, so the warning time for me is a lot shorter. And yeah, so that was the idea. Here my infantry is pushing his infantry back, but then I see his like firing line behind the forest of a bunch of BTR 80s and MP2s. Another Tunguska is here now as well. So 2 Tunguskas now up again. As I said, makes perfect sense. It's just that losing 2 of your 4 Tunguskas is very painful early on. Warrior here unfortunately missed its Milan at this range, but then the T80 is also missing, so like, don't know what the fuck is going on there. Look at a hit and a stun. Yeah, nice ATGM moment. A new SAS has been also called in here to reinforce this infantry grind. And, well, I mean, I lost both the SAS early on, which was bad. But I have been keeping alive the other infantry fairly well since then. And then here I get an absolutely nasty side shot with the Challenger, and then the Milan 2 hits as well, and the T80BV is down. That was a very painful loss. And, I mean, I think that, yeah, the Challenger has definitely shot at the T80BV already. So he must have known that it was there, and... well, I don't know whether he has a recon here, because, well, even if he has, I won't see it. So... if he has an exceptional recon, maybe he should see it, or maybe he already lost it in the forest grind here. But either way, that was a very, like, it was obviously not well done by him, but also it was kind of unlucky that the T80BV got a massive sideshot from the Challenger. I also, if you might have noticed, I was trying to target it with my artillery, the T80, but then it moved out, and I just stopped targeting it and decided to just move up the howitzers closer in the meantime. Yeah, which was a good decision because I got the kill with the Challenger Mark II then anyway. Again, infantry trying to push in, but in this case the RPOs have been reloaded again, so they absolutely shred the air mobiles. Air mobiles in general are a very good squad as well. Like 9-man squad with all the weapons can be used on the move. Every weapon is 5.56 and a law 80 for 55 points. Like, that's very, very good squad. But against RPOs in Forest, obviously they aren't that good as well anymore. And now there's 4 RPOs here. Like, look at this. Good god. But the good thing is that now I know that they have used all their napalm launchers, or most of them. Some of them still had some left apparently. So I should be kind of good to push in, but then like units still get stunned, I think, by the napalm that's on the ground or something. Look at another very nice bombing run of the Tornado, and it doesn't even get hit in return. I don't even think it lost. Yeah, it didn't even lose 1 HP. That was very nice. It didn't micro the Phantom here very well, so they traded with the MiG-29. But overall, I mean, that's good for me, because that means that this MiG-29 will be out for quite a long time. And I don't really need my Phantoms up that much, because his air support is very limited. So if my planes aren't up 24/7, that's not that bad. If his planes aren't up 24/7, that's... I mean, it's not a death sentence because he still has the Tunguskas here, but it's still dangerous for him. And especially now, I mean, I saw where the Tunguska fired from, so I instantly put the RT on it and killed it. So now there's only 1 Tunguska left, assuming he only has 1 card, which most likely he has. So the next bombing run will be very, very juicy. Though, I mean, the 1 Tornado will be reloading for still quite some time because it was hit pretty badly. But the other one wasn't, so this will reload quicker. The motorized air mobile also have been called in. I have taken those at double vet at this point in time because I think it's... I mean, you have enough infantry anyway, and just getting some extra double vet infantry, and again, this is also a 9-man squad with double machine gun. Also, why is it even... Why is it the same price? I mean, I think it's kind of fair that the law 80 doesn't get to pay like super duper extra price, but it is also kind of weird. Because it's straight up the same squad, but this one is just better with the law 80. It has less ammo though, I guess. Yeah, well, whatever. I get it a double vet and I'm not complaining for 55 points because it's an exceptionally good squad. Again, I know that he has his command somewhere in the corner here. Put the artillery on it. I'm not sure whether I actually killed the command. I don't think so. But it did kill it as a parry RPO, and he doesn't have enders of those. And once they are dead, like, his infantry will stand no chance against mine, like, not even close. Even if we discount the SAS, like, my infantry is just miles better. And also, yeah, I get a bit more veterancy with the more air mobiles. Milan 2 gets a nice hit on another BMP2. Infantry here also sniped some supply trucks, which is very useful. Some armored rifles with warriors also came in this forest patch because I wanted to have control of it so that he can't push through it and then snipe my artillery, because that would have been obviously very painful. And now I see a little mechanized blob coming in here, and it's actually not that little. So I quickly called in some Lynx Hell Arms This one is being fired by Igla from here though, which is not exactly nice. Challenger here is retreating. They both smoked off, so they need to reload their smoke. But I mean, I also have cluster bombers, so I could throw them in a cluster. I think I got one of the T-80s here as well, and it doesn't get hit by the missile in return. I don't think it doesn't. It just gets hit by the guns of the Tunguska, which is fine for me. Killed at least one BMP-2 and a T-80 for like losing one warrior. That's honestly fine. And now he comes in with the T-8 and actually gets a kill on the Challenger. Like, you see this very rarely. I think the T-8M is absolute garbage. Because if you have AA, this thing gets like hit before it can even fire mostly, or even killed. But in this case I didn't have any AA up, so he did get through and get a nasty side shot on the Challenger Mark II, which was fair enough. But while I was bombing, I saw the last Tunguska and also killed it with my artillery. Infantry here has again been completely deleted by my infantry, like his infantry, deleted by my infantry. There's still a bunch of stuff here in the back, and also a bunch of fire support, so I still can't like completely push him back, but I can push him back enough. And I mean, losing the one Challenger is painful, but killing a T-80 BV and a BMP-2 in return is like, it's not the best, but it's fine. Like, I can take this trade for now. And the T-8M has been hit in return, so it will be out for a good time, and I now also started investing into AA, because Second UK also gets good AA, you know. Which is pretty useful. Did now put the Phantom up just for the time, like until the AA is on the front line, because I was afraid that maybe if he's like noticed that there was not a lot of AA firing at his T8, he could try to air spam. As I said, he doesn't have a lot of planes available in this division in 27Y, but who knows, maybe he took like all the attack planes that you get. If he takes a T-8M and both the Su-17s, there's still 3 cars of attack planes, that's 6 of them. It's just not really card efficient for 27Y. Here I also tried to target his fire support here in the back. I think I only got supply, I didn't kill a BMP-2, I'm not sure. But overall, I mean, I'm also have been ticking for all of this time, or almost all of this time, so I'm close to 400 points up. Kreide is a map where you tick fairly slowly, so this is a lot of points actually. And yeah, I have been trading very well as well, so I was honestly feeling very good. Here the M107s try to target the infantry here, but he jumps out of the right side of the building. Very well done by him. So he doesn't get killed. Goes into the sector here again, and now he deployed the grenade launchers in a close range fighting in the forest. And I'm not gonna lie, they were more effective than I assumed they would be, but to be fair, there were also like 4 of them at that one. So I quickly started retreating the infantry before they die. Here he missed Micro's MiG-29 unfortunately, and then the tornado kills it with the heat seeker. Could have also bombed a little bit further, or like closer to my troops, but I didn't want to go too much danger close. I think I only got like 1 or 2 kills with both the bombers combined, but I also got a lot of suppression done, and well, now the grenade launcher is routed and now it will just die, because it's routed and low HP. Also, luckily I started moving just before his artillery came in, so his artillery completely missed. And here I tried to like do a cheeky counter battery, because I thought, you know what, he just has started firing, and my howitzers are double wet, so I might be lucky and get a cheeky counter battery here. I was also just hoping that he would take the infantry howitzers and not move them in time. Yeah, well, taking artillery out of the game is, in my opinion, just one of the most worthwhile kills you can get with your own artillery, or in general. Especially if you do it early on. Because artillery is still pretty expensive. And I do actually get it. It was the infantry howitzer, and I kill it. So this is very, very good for me now. Because not only has he taken very bad trades, he has also lost key units, like losing 2 T-80 BVs as 27Y is very bad, because you don't get a lot of them. Or if you get a lot of them, you have to sacrifice a lot of other slots. I don't think I've seen even a single BMP-3 for the moment, so that was a bit concerning to me, because that means that he still can get a lot of them later on. But with killing several BMP2s and T-ADVs, then also the howitzer, and also one of the MiG-29s. That's very nice. Not to be fair, like the MiG-29 isn't the most important because he also gets good air defense. But I mean, on the other hand, I have killed a whole card of Tunguskas already with my artillery. Here, he somehow saw the howitzers, and I noticed it last second, started retreating the howitzers and put the F4 on them, on DT8, and they actually did get the kill. That was that was a bit lucky, even though, I mean, to be fair, the Phantom here has pretty good missiles, especially because it has the better sidewinders compared to the American Phantom. So, but I mean, it was still good because if I would have been lucky, RNG-wise, he could have killed one of my howitzers. And as I said, killing howitzers is very, very valuable. Here I now spot him going through the center with a lot of vehicles, and well, apparently he takes 2 cards of Tunguskas, which, in my opinion, is weird. But, well, I mean, it's not the worst choice. I just would prefer to have more different AA pieces, or types of AA. Let's put it like that. But A to each their own. Like Tiberius is definitely a good player. Do get 1 BTR with the rover, and then also get a leader BTR with the rover. So that was a very nice kill. And here I spot the T-ADV next to Tunguska, so of course I just had to attack it with a Jaguar cluster and get a beautiful double kill. In this case, I kind of assumed that he wouldn't have a lot of AA up because he just invested so many points in all of the other shit he invested into. And yeah, I was right, the other AA he had was still further back, so did get through and get a nice bombing run. Caught in the Lynx Hellarms are now a little bit useless because it's just moving grenade launchers over the open. And the Rover Milan, well, first of all, it's out of ammo, and second of all, the Rover Milans can't do anything against grenade launchers, obviously. But I still have the Gizzer rockets, obviously, so quickly call them in, and I know that he doesn't have any AA here, so they will delete the grenade launchers without any issues. There still hasn't been any attack here. I think there was an attack at some point at the top side, and yeah, I definitely missed it because BTR here died. I did micro the Fox back from the infantry here, and then the Fox in the back there just killed it off. So that was that. M107s quickly kill off the Conquerors there. And yeah, another Tunguska is in position now. So it's poor Tunguskas. I mean, they're trying to do their job, but you just never could get a critical mass of them. Now I think there's 2 AA pieces. I would assume that those are 2 Tunguskas. So maybe this will be enough now, but the problem is that he has 2 Tunguskas against... like, if I pair them up all together, there will be 3 bombers coming in, and I can still buy in a 4th one. And 4 Tunguskas with no MiG-29s anymore. He might have the MiG-23s as well as some support, but that's it. That's not good. Here I tried to call in an air mobile scout because I don't actually have a recon unit in here. But unfortunately it died on the way. Just died by the Tunguska. Because I just wanted to have line of like a recon squad for the Challenger here. As you can see, I put the Challenger in the position that I talked about at the beginning of the game, where it can cut off this reinforcement road, which means that he has used the reinforcement road up there. Second howitzer of his is still alive, so I tried to counter battery it with the artillery as well, because I mean I knew that I counter batteried the first one because I got the sound cue from the howitzers. If you don't know, like units, they will say something if they kill a unit. Like I can't remember the voice lines all, but they will say something like "we got him" or something like that. Obviously, if you don't speak that English of the unit or the nation you're playing, they can be a little bit hard because you don't know the words. But mostly, if you fire at something and then your units say something, that mostly means that they have hit it. Or killed it, rather. So in this case, for example, I knew that I didn't kill it because there was no voice line. Here, by the way, I just tried to drive the Saxon down and maybe kill the annoying Stinger that was still in the building here, but it just got killed by, I think, a Recon BMP2 or BTR or something. And yeah, by the way, the Challenger here did get a nasty side shot on a BMP2 with the infantry squad still inside, because he did actually get a few reinforcements down this road. And yeah, that's what I mean, like... And this is... I have a division that can't even abuse it that much. Or, well, rather, I could abuse it if I would put more ATGMs in there, but I was a bit slow doing that, so... yeah, but in the sense of that, I can't abuse it with like a bunch of medium tanks, for example. That could be very efficient at sniping off units there. Try to counter battery, but snipe off the Tunguska again. He did move it away from the forest line though, so that was annoying. Also bought in a Chinook supply to resupply the howitzers and the Gazelle rockets, which are all up and running again. More armored rifles with the Warriors have been deployed here as some ATGM support, because the rover Milan has been sniper artillery, so I needed some more ATGMs. Also another Challenger arrived here. Milan 2 arrived as well. Another Lynx with this air mobile scouts has been sniped by the Tunguska. I think I deployed a little bit further to the right, but it still wasn't far enough. And now he's trying to walk his infantry over here, but like that's way too much fire support for him to even get close. He has put up his own fire support as well, but I mean, I have the Challenger Mark II, and the Challenger Mark II at this range should absolutely dominate the Motostrelki. Lynx Helm here in the back dies to the Tunguska. Tunguska is really annoying for me, because the Tunguska massively outranges all my helicopters.
It's hot here.
Warrior against BMP2, I mean, not the best duel, but I thought it could still be good to just keep him back for some time. And, well, I mean, I know that he at best has like 2 Tunguskas up here, so yeah. I'm just doing what I said before. I'm calling all 4 of my strike planes at once. In this case, I didn't even bother to like micro them to go in all literally at once. One HE bomber goes in, second HE bomber goes in. And there was actually 4 AA pieces here, so there was a lot of more AA than I assumed, but the HE bomber here did get a lot of damage done. And then I just targeted the other AA pieces with the clusters I still have left, but it didn't even matter because he surrendered. And I did get a 2.221 KD against Tiberius. I'm not gonna lie, I was very happy with that, and I didn't assume that I would be even able to do that. I was very surprised by myself and very happy. Though to be fair, like, second UK is a very good like, I mean, in my division ranking I even put it as like one of the strongest divisions in the whole game. And I am also very good with it, so yeah, like, it wasn't a very good idea by Tiberius to leave it open. I think he, as I said, I think he tried to bait me into picking 5e, but, you know, it doesn't work all the time. And yeah, this Milan 2 this got such an insane value. 3 BMP2s Tunguska and TADBV, absolutely amazing. SCS in the forest actually didn't perform too well. I mean, this is the one that got called in later, so of the first 2 SCS, only one of them even got any kills. So, I mean, the idea of his was fine, but the problem is he just lost too much AA, and then I was just able to bomb him out and overall just grind him down with good infantry micro, because I just have more decent infantry overall. Foxes also performed pretty well. And you look at this Tornado HE, like, this is such a painful kill list against a division that doesn't have a lot of infantry. I mean, it has like a decent amount of it, but less than me and worse than me. So losing that much, and then also a Tunguska to it, very painful. This SAS though performed pretty well, like killing off 2 Mi-24s. Also a big problem of fighting second UK. As long as I haven't killed off all the SAS, like using helicopters anywhere close to the front line is just always such a massive risk. And then look at the other Tornado HE. It did get an even better kill list because it got a Mi-29 as well. This was just so valuable to have those. The M107s, I think they didn't do too much, but yeah, sniping the howitzer was just extremely good. And then also 2 Tunguskas as well. He just had to rebuy AA constantly, which prevented him from amassing mechanized units, so like IVs and T80s. Also, like, looking through it, I think I didn't even see a single BMP3, right? It's all just BMP2s. It's a bit weird. But maybe there was some idea behind it to have like cheaper units so you could call in more of them. I don't know. But, well, yeah, here the Jago cluster, also Tunguska, 2 ADVs and the BMP2. Fantastic kill list. Hell, I'm only getting 2 BTR-80s. But I mean, to be fair, the BTR-80s, as we saw, are pretty good. They're like apparently equally good to like Foxes, which was weird. But I think like the veterancy here also did a lot against unvetted Foxes. Yeah, also T8M, like, why? Just take the SO-17. In my opinion, it's just, I don't see the point in taking the T8 if you can take the SO-17. Just weird. And yeah, that was pretty much... The challenges actually didn't do that much, but, well, they didn't need to do a lot because the artillery and the air support did most of the work. Yeah, if you look at his side, this Tunguska sniped two of the air mobile scouts, and that's basically this most valuable unit, so... Yeah. Unfortunately, just... I think it would have been unironically better for him to just completely ignore this forest in Bravo. Because there's just no way for him to win against me if I micro my units correctly. But hey, still a good game. Well played. Nice try by my enemy. And that meant that I was 1-0 up against Tiberius. And that gave me a pretty good confidence boost for game 2. And that one was quite wild. But you will only see it in the next video. So subscribe and be sure to turn in on Wednesday for game 2. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you in the next one. Until then, have a beautiful day, and bye-bye.